So, let's talk about A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I want you to just forget everything you think you know about it. Because this is not just some light, whimsical fairy tale full of mischievous fairies. No. It kicks off as this incredibly high-stakes legal drama where love is literally against the law, and one young woman's defiance could actually cost her her life.
I mean, really think about that. It's a terrifying, impossible choice, right? But this isn't some hypothetical question. This is the exact ultimatum that gets handed to one of our heroines in like the first few minutes of the play. This isn't just a story, it's the conflict that is going to ignite all the chaos to come. Okay, so picture this. We're in Athens. This is a city of rigid laws, of classical reason, and right now, the whole place is buzzing with anticipation. Why? Well, its ruler, Duke Theseus, is about to marry Hippolyta, the formidable queen of the Amazons. The stage is all set for this grand, orderly celebration, but behind all that public pomp, a private storm is brewing.
Theseus has basically called for 4 straight days of feasting and parties to celebrate his wedding. He wants the entire city to get swept up in all this joy. And it's this atmosphere of strict public order and celebration that makes the personal turmoil that's about to just explode onto the scene feel all the more shocking. This perfect, pristine setting is about to be completely shattered. And just like that, the happy atmosphere is just gone. An enraged father, a guy named Egeus, storms into the court, and he is physically dragging his daughter Hermia, plus 2 young men, Lysander and Demetrius, right in front of the Duke. Yeah, the wedding plans are about to take a very, very dark turn.
So Egeus lays out the problem. He says, look, I promised my daughter Hermia to this man, Demetrius, but she refuses. Why? Because she's in love with the other guy, Lysander. Now you gotta understand, in this world, a daughter is legally considered her father's property, so this isn't just disobedience, it's an act of open rebellion. And Aegis claims Lysander has bewitched her, using poems and songs to steal her heart and turn her against her own father.
And this right here is where the family drama becomes a full-blown legal crisis. Egeus invokes this terrifying law known as the ancient privilege of Athens, which, pretty much gives him the power of life and death over his own daughter. So this isn't just some family squabble anymore. This is a legal battle for Hermia's actual survival.
Duke Theseus, who is the embodiment of Athenian law, he confirms this grim reality. He lays out Hermia's 3 choices, and they are all terrible. 1. Marry a man she despises. 2. Face execution. Or 3. Renounce love and society altogether by becoming a nun for the rest of her life. It's an impossible choice, with absolutely no hope of a happy outcome as long as she stays within the city walls.
Now, faced with this absolutely terrifying ultimatum, you'd think Hermia might crumble, right? Nope. Instead, she stands her ground and she challenges the highest authority in the land, all in the name of love and her own heart.
Her words are just so incredibly powerful. She is telling the Duke, right to his face, that she would rather live her whole life and die a virgin than submit to a man she doesn't love. I mean, think about it. In an age where a woman's entire value was tied to marriage, this is a radical act of defiance. She's basically saying, my soul is my own.
And that's when Lysander leaps to her defense. He argues, hey, I'm every bit as good as Demetrius, same social standing, same wealth. But he says, I have the one thing he doesn't, Hermia's heart. And then he drops a bombshell. He reveals that Demetrius is actually a pretty fickle lover who wooed another woman, Helena, showering her with affection before just abandoning her.
You'd think that would change things, but the Duke is completely unmoved. He gives Hermia just 4 days until his own wedding day to decide her fate. So, left alone, the lovers realize if they're going to have any kind of future together, they have to get away from the law. They've got to take matters into their own hands.
And it's right here that Lysander says one of the most famous lines in all of Shakespeare. It's this really poignant reflection on how hard love can be. He's telling Hermia, look, what we're going through, it isn't unique. It's part of a timeless battle that all true lovers have to face. It's this little moment of perspective right in the middle of all the panic.
And then they actually list off all the classic reasons love gets torn apart throughout history: class differences, age gaps, and, the one that hits closest to home for them, family getting in the way. And by seeing their own problem as just one part of this huge, tragic tradition, they find this strange kind of comfort and the strength to keep going.
So what's the plan? It's simple, but it's super daring.
They're gonna elope. They'll sneak out of Athens under the cover of darkness and run to a place where the city's brutal laws can't touch them. And their meeting point is absolutely key: the woods outside the city. They are literally leaving the world of rigid human law and entering a realm of nature, magic, and, well, chaos.
But just as they're finalizing this romantic escape plan, a new player walks onto the scene: Hermia's childhood friend, Helena. And she is about to turn this already complicated love story into a full-blown catastrophe.
See, Helena's heart is completely broken. The man she adores, Demetrius, is now totally obsessed with Hermia, who, you'll remember, can't stand the sight of him. It's this painful, tangled web of unrequited love, and poor Helena is trapped right in the middle of it, just idolizing her friend for having the one thing she desperately wants.
I mean, look at this. These romantic entanglements are an absolute recipe for disaster. Okay, so Helena loves Demetrius, who loves Hermia, who loves Lysander. Only Lysander's love is actually returned. That leaves two people just utterly heartbroken and desperate. This massive imbalance is the emotional fuel that is about to set the forest on fire.
So trying to comfort her friend, Hermia does something. She tells Helena their secret plan to elope. She figures, hey, this is good news for you, right? This will give you a clear path to Demetrius. But as the lovers leave, Helen is left all alone with this dangerous idea brewing in her mind, an idea that's going to have some devastating consequences.
Before she acts, Helena gives this really powerful speech about how irrational love is. To her, love isn't about what you see, it's about what you imagine. It's a blind, childish, and, let's be honest, often foolish force. And this is how she justifies her own obsessive devotion to Demetrius. It's this twisted logic that's about to lead her to betray her best friend. And so, she makes a fateful decision. She's going to tell Demetrius about the escape plan. And her reasoning is just so tragic. She knows he's going to chase after Hermia into the woods, but she hopes that by betraying her friend, she might just get a simple thank you, and maybe, just maybe, a fleeting glimpse of him as he runs after another woman.
And so the stage is set. We have four young lovers driven by passion, desperation, and jealousy, and they're all about to collide in a magical forest where literally anything can happen. The rigid laws of Athens might not apply there, but believe me, the chaotic laws of love are about to be put to the ultimate test.